Hello YouTube, what's going on? Double99 Legend here, and welcome back to another video. And as you can see from the title, this is going to be an NHL 19 wish list. So I don't know if this is early or not, but thought may as well get it out there as soon as possible. So there's lots of things I want to get through in this video. So first things first is I wanted to talk about intros, and I just wanted to see if they could add to the intro, so like they'd show the skyline of outside the arena, and then it'd be cool to see the players coming out of the tunnel again. So I feel like they could add that, and then as soon as the players are done coming out of the tunnel, I feel like then they could go up to the booth with Doc and Eddie. I feel like that'll add to the intros. And right now, I like playing the older games again. I kind of miss seeing the players come out of the tunnel and such. So that's just quickly what I want to talk about that. Just realized this is gonna be really tough looking over at my notes here. I'm playing goalie at the same time, but anyways. So I'm probably gonna play terrible here. So next thing I want to talk about is player equipment, and if I don't play player often, so I can't really remember if they put this stuff back in the game or not. But I know when the game first came out, they didn't have like Easton helmets in the game. I can't remember if it was all Easton, but for sure Easton helmets. And I thought, what the heck? So many NHL players wear this gear, so first thing I want them to do is put that back in the game if they haven't already. And something else for me, being a goalie, this is something for goalies. Something I want them to do is better selection at what gear they put in the game. Like, for instance, like just recently they took like some of the Bauer equipment out of the game, and for whatever reason they still have old stuff, like honestly, like almost the first Reeboks there were. So that I want them to have better selection of what they're putting in the game. Make that stop and get the puck out. Okay, so next thing I want to talk about is right-handed goalies. So something that is absolutely ridiculous is the fact that, if you didn't notice, for right-handed goalies, maybe like 70% of the sticks are backwards, and same with some of the, I'm not sure about the gear, but I know for a fact a lot of the sticks are backwards, which is kind of ridiculous. So that's something I want them to fix. And next thing I want to talk about for goalies is I want them to, I would really appreciate if they could do something cool, like be able to create your own goalie pads. So I feel like all they need to do is have, like, because a lot of games nowadays are so good on letting you create your own stuff, so I feel like they can too. So just like something as simple as being able to choose from logos from a certain team and giving us generic shapes, and then just letting people show their creativity. A lot of games do that. They just give you like logos and just basic shapes, and they just leave you to design your own things. So I feel like that'd be a pretty cool concept, that if they could put that in the game, because a lot of goalies too nowadays do that in real life. So I just feel like they should try and put that in the game. And while we're on that, discussion, another thing I would love for them to do is, since I'm someone who creates a lot of freaking teams, and it's kind of one of those things where it's tough finding a goalie mask that will match the team colors, or it just in general looks stupid because it'll have some other team's logo on it. So another thing I want them to do is add custom goalie masks. Anyone's been asking for them to do this for so many games now, and they still haven't. And I feel like the customization process could be like this. Like, they'll give you like a main color for the base color of the helmet, and I feel like there should be a base color for the cage as well. So going back to the helmet, you could choose from like having it metallic, or you could have it as matte. And then I feel like cage, same thing, either metallic, or you could have it matte, or you know, some goalies have like a gradient on their mask, like they have multiple colors on it. I feel like they should be able to do that again, and same as the custom goalie pads, and just give the user their choice from logos and shapes and numbers, and just let the people be creative with what they design. I honestly think it's something just as simple as that they can do. So that's player equipment and intros. Something else I want them to, now what I'm going to talk about is a bit of the creation zone. And to be honest, from last game to this game, I was kind of disappointed I was pretty disappointed on what they added to create a team. So that's what I want to mostly talk about here, is Jonathan Marchessault's not scored for both teams. So I want them to really add stuff like, if they can, more base architectures, because quite frankly, when you create so many teams, it gets kind of bland and kind of annoying using the same arenas over and over again. For instance, my custom league that's currently going on, I don't know if you guys noticed, but so many of my arenas for the remaining teams is all the same identical ones. So I feel like more base architectures for arenas would be cool, and more for on the lines of adding more. I would also love to see, for the same reasons, more scoreboards in the game, and something I've always wanted to do too is be able to change the side rim and scoreboard animation. So like, if you've noticed, from different NHL teams, they'll already have like different like animations on the side rims or on the scoreboard when a team scores. Like, so they'll say goal on, but there'll be different animations of how it says that. I feel like something cool would be to be able to customize that, maybe like the lines on the side rims, or like lines on the side rims, and like change the goal animation or intro animation or win animation, etc. So that'd be kind of cool too, I feel. Something else I would want too is to be able to put custom lettering and logos on the ice. Like, they're good with being able to choose from your 3 different logos already on the ice, but I feel like you should be able to put your own custom lettering around the center ice to complete the look, because you know how like every arena will have like the arena name wrapped around the center ice. I feel like they should be able to do that too, because again, I think that's pretty something they should honestly already have. With some of the customizations you could do in games nowadays, I feel like that's something easy they should have by now. Okay, going back to adding more, again we're on the lines of that, I would love to see more things like jerseys, logos, more mascot stuff. Like, they added a good decent amount of more logos, but I feel like a lot of the custom ones in general are all like states or provinces, and I feel like those aren't going to be used very much. So it was cool that they added the ECHL logos, but if they were going to do that, they should add the AHL logos to be used as well. That way you get like a more wide range of logos and possibilities for team names and such, because they have so many play-by-play names, but so many of them don't make sense with any of the logos they have in the game, or it gets kind of bland when you're making so many teams. So I feel like more logos will help with that. And something cool, I don't know if they've ever thought of this, but it might be something stupid, but something I just thought of too is it'd be cool to have like some teams will have different period ending buzzers, so I feel like that's something they could add too, is different sounding period buzzers. Something small, and maybe it's stupid, but I feel like it'd be pretty cool if you could change that. And I should have written my notes better. Okay, going back to adding more, I'd like to see more goal lights, because they have like 4. There's practically every team in the league has a different goal light, so I feel like they should add more of those. And something else I think they should try and put in the game too is, again, same thing as the customization stuff I've already talked about. If they don't want to add so many new logos, something they could probably try and open to users is to be able to create your own logo, because like, again, all they need to do is give user basic like shapes, numbers, lettering. Just let people be creative and put something together. Oh my god, that was a bad goal. Now, this next point I want to say is, it might sound kind of ridiculous, and I totally understand if they don't want to do it, but something else that'd be pretty cool is, like, even for custom teams to be able to show like the outside of the arena would be really cool. Like, be able to customize the outside, so maybe just like, again, like maybe give some of the basic shapes of existing NHL arenas outside, and just be able to change the colors or something. But again, I know that's probably a long shot to do, but it'd be so cool if they could somehow implement that into the game. Alright, so I think that's all I want to say about the creation zone. So next thing I want to talk about is probably my most played game modes in this game, like, because I don't really play much online in general, so, and pretty much not at all in this game, so I would really love to see them make a huge overhaul of Be a Pro, because to make it way more immersive, because right now I feel like all it is create your own player and play games. I feel like that's all it is. It doesn't really give you any feeling that you're actually playing your career mode. Let's get more into that after this. Okay, cover that up and give us some time. So stuff I feel like they can add to Be a Pro to kind of overhaul is go back to like NHL 14 was a good start, so like put stuff back in, like have interviews, not text screens, actually interviews with your character model, off ice events again, and have like special event animations. So like, for instance, like, I can't really explain this too well because I don't own many sports games beside this and MLB The Show, but something MLB The Show does is, like, if you get called up for your first game, they have like this special intro with showing you like hitting the like walking through the dugout, meeting your teammates, just like picturing around, like looking around the stadium, or like when you're first at bat, it like slows it down and gives you like this cool music, walking up to the plate slowly. So stuff like that, like they could have the same idea when you're playing your first game, meet your teammates, just maybe like players already do this in the NHL, like stand on the bench, just focusing, looking at around the arena and such. So stuff like that. And something I'd also love, I know this is all depending on licensing reasons, but in Be a Pro, I really love it if you were able to play in all the leagues that exist. So they have the same stuff like starting the CHL, but also maybe this year, if they can try and get the licensing, they could make it so that instead of CHL, you could start in college instead and go the college route instead. Quickly focusing on goalie. Okay. So yeah, like you could have like the two starting points if you want to start right at the start, or like when you're playing. When you're drafted, then you have the ability to actually get sent all the way down to the ECHL, while also being able to still play in the AHL, and of course NHL. Oh, William Karlsson, and that hurts. And also say like, if your career is starting on a rough patch, I think it'd be really cool to also have be able to sign with the European leagues. And possibly make a return later in your career. I feel like stuff like that, it makes the game a lot more realistic and a lot more immersive. Like they have to do something to overall be a pro, because quite frankly, like I said, it's very boring. It could get very boring as what it is right now. Something I'm pretty sure this is not a given again. I can't remember or not, because again, I don't play it much now because it's not really much of a point, but I'm so busy constantly with the custom league and creating more teams, and I'm so bad with like playing. Like I should honestly show you guys, I have so many teams. I play one for like 20 games or something and give up and make a new team. But anyways, have another thing added where you can be invited to the All-Star game. I don't think they have that in there, and that's just kind of dumb as well. Or like something else they can add, which would be really cool, is just create an All-Star weekend in general. So have like a skills competition too, and all they need to do for that is like have fastest skater, hardest shot, puck control relay type of thing. Like the shootout breakaway relay and such. That'd be really cool to be part of too. Or like another thing they could add is to be able to play for your country. So be able to play stuff in like the World Cup of Hockey or the World Juniors when you're in junior or college, and either that or playing the Olympics. And again, I know that's probably something to do with licensing reasons, but I feel like EA should be able to get rights to be able to put that in their game, considering they're the only ones that make hockey nowadays. So they're the ones making all the money, so I feel like they should be able to do that. Okay, so this point's really minor, but it's something that drives me off the wall when you're playing in Be a Pro, is the fact that you can't change your jersey number. It is honestly ridiculous that you can't do something like that. Like, I don't enjoy at all being like a certain number. Like for instance, the goalie Be a Pro I have right now, I have my goalie set on number 35, but he has not been number 35 on any team yet, and he keeps given like gross numbers like 38 or something. It's very annoying that you can't change that. Like they have the preferred jersey number in the edit player thing, but even if you change that, it doesn't change your goalie number, so it's kind of stupid. Now this too, I don't know for sure because I've never looked for this, but I like to how it before in NHL 14 again, how you'd be able to on the homepage view your contract and like your money made in your career. Like that's just some little fun thing I always like to know, like, oh, how much money have I made in my career? So it's like, if this were real, I would have been making this much money. Now, this is something because they already took out, this is kind of like a double thing I want to talk about. So something they took out, like out of, they have it on the home page of the game, but something they did is they took out practice mode in all of the game modes for some reason. I always just like doing it, so maybe like before I played a game, especially since I'm goalie, like before a game, maybe I'd go in practice mode and practice my positioning a bit first. So this is kind of a two-point thing. Either please put practice mode back into the game modes, like be a pro or franchise mode or season mode. Either that or something cool they could do is make like a pre-game warm-up type of thing for Be a Pro. That probably only work with Be a Pro because you only control the one player, right? So but I would love to see some type of practice thing back in Be a Pro. So again, I think that's all I wanted to say about that. It's not really anything I could think of to add to franchise mode or anything, because it's not really anything I play too often. I'll leave that for the guys who actually do like GM commentaries and such. Okay, so next topic is next topic I want to go over is game modes. So again, I'll bring this up again. Like, I'd love to see them create like a game mode for an all-star weekend, so especially so you can make custom all-star games and all-star weekends. That'd be very fun. Like, again, just have like what I mentioned earlier for the all-stars, for the skills, just have stuff like shooting accuracy, fastest skater, etc. I won't repeat it all because I don't have to, but and then just after that have the games, have the like the little 3-on-3 tournament they've been doing past couple of years. So something else I'd love to see them add to the game is just, I don't know if you saw recently on my channel, if you don't follow it, or if you just didn't want to see the videos in general because you're not a fan of WWE. But anyways, I just recently on my channel had this WWE tournament, which was actually a custom tournament that you could create. So that'd be something cool that they could add into this game, because if you guys follow my channel, you know I love to do stuff like Halloween specials or holiday specials, so I'll create like a little tournament. So the details on that would be like, be able to create your own tournament, be able to decide which teams are in the tournament and how many, so like maybe 2, 4, 6, or 8, and then something, because like say like this year, this is something else I want in the settings too, because say like this year when I did the custom all-star games, the fans would boo the team the away team that would score, which in reality wouldn't happen in real life. So I'd be cool to have it like set so that fans could cheer for both teams, so there's no booing another team when they realistically it shouldn't be like that. So that's something I feel like I'd want them to put, and something else cool that you could do in that WWE game is you could create your own championship belt. So I feel like that's something else that could add to this, like create your own trophy. So it doesn't have to be anything special, right? So all it could be is like, oh, pick a existing trophy in the world. So like, say like the President's Trophy, Prince of Wales, or like Clarence S. Campbell, or Memorial Cup or something like that. Just like pick an existing trophy and just maybe change the color zones on a certain trophy, add logos, add words or something to it. So it just has to be something simple. I'd really love to see something like that. Oh gosh, I'll be honest, that I wasn't looking. If you're wondering why I just let that in. Okay. Yeah, so that'd be cool. That'd be create a tournament. That's my idea for that. And just quick note on season and franchise mode. The one thing I wanted to talk about is if you're anything like me and you like to create something like a custom league, you have to do it in season mode unless you don't care. If you want to control all the teams, you have to do it in season mode. But if you don't care, you could do it in franchise mode and just control one. But for the most part, you want to, if you create that many teams, you want to control them all, right? So this one point I want to say is like either make season mode a bit longer, like do multiple seasons, either that or put more user control over teams in franchise mode, because it kind of sucks that like it kind of sucks that season mode's only 1 year, and if you do a custom league with like the scramble players, then it kind of sucks that you only do it 1 year and then you kind of have to redo it again. So it's kind of a bummer when that happens. So that's just something quick I wanted to say about that. Gotta get to my points fast. We're getting kind of long here. So now I want to talk about gameplay. So first thing I want to talk about for gameplay wise is better passing, because honestly it's so atrociously bad. Like for me now, when I play player, I don't have pass assist on, because it just, even the little slightest bit of pass assist just drives me up the wall for who they think I'll like aim at a certain person, but they'll be like, no, maybe this pass is better, which in reality really is not. It's like, because pass assists, I feel like they always try to put this stupid complicated pass that either someone threw a huge crowd of people, or they pass like, I'll be on like a 2-on-1 or something, or like I'll be in the offensive zone giving pressure, and they'll like, I'll have like a guy wide open to stop it for his whatever reason, to put it back to the defenseman. But so I feel like, yeah, you could take pass assist off like I do now, but even still, you shouldn't have to do that. Just the passing should be smarter than that. And then something that they did improve on, I feel, is positioning the AI. But because honestly, I guess I have to give them credit for this, because they did fix stuff. Like, it doesn't work all the time, but they do break up like cross creases, or like they block more shots and that. No, but the thing is, I still don't want to give them 100% credit, 100% on that, because I feel like they should still tinker that quite a bit, because there is the times where you like scratch your head greatly, especially if you're a goalie and you have to put up with them. Like, there's like enough nonsense of going up the middle. That's like the most dangerous play you could do in hockey. Yeah, they always seem to like it, but so I feel like it is getting better, but still the tweaking has to be made. For the AI positioning. Okay. Alright, so next point is fix goalie positioning. Like, okay, this isn't that big of a deal, but like I noticed when I was playing NHL 3s is the goalies can play like position for plays so poorly. Like I'll show you I have some recorded examples. I'll put them in the corner of this screen right now. Like, you should see how they play 2-on-1s. Like, or just 2-on-1's not so bad because yeah, the goalie has to be aggressive and challenge the shooter because the defenseman's supposed to take the pass away and just give it the shooter to the goalie and just hope for the best there. But if you, for whatever reason, you should see how the goalies play on stuff like 2-on-0s. Like, say the Golden Knights were going on a 2-on-0, right? Well, I won't show you now because Fleury just covered the puck, but I'll show you an example. Well, you'll already see it in the top corner anyways. Like, 2-on-0s, the goalie will come out like this, and then just wait for the pass across. Oh, huge wide open net, goal against. So stuff like that, that's what I mean for like goalie positioning. Like, it shouldn't be, they're way too aggressive for some odd man rushes. And while when we're on the topic of goalies, please EA, fix the mother effing goalie interference. It's one of the most annoying things ever to be a goalie. Like, enough of this BS of players skating on the rush and just at the end of the rush just crashing into the goalie. It's the most idiotic thing I've ever seen in hockey. Like, and it's not even a penalty in the game. Like, there's multiple times where like I'll save a puck and I'll have it covered, and when the other team's players will just, since it's this stupid rush thing of them crashing the net, and then they'll just smash into me, I'll drop the puck, and sure enough, when their other teammates picks up the puck and scores, or they get a good chance. So that's BS, because that's goalie interference. And also there's times where like I have the puck or something, and then they'll just ram into me, point where I drop the puck in the net and it's deemed good goal. Either that or they're on a break or something and they just skate right into the goalie and push the puck in the net. Again, good goal. It's gotta be one of the most frustrating things ever if you're a goalie in this game. Please fix the goalie interference. Okay. Next thing I want to talk about is the freaking computer bias. Now, I know I'm not the only one complaining about this. Like, again, this is one of those things where I'm just gonna be told to be better, but honestly, like, there is honestly a computer bias when you start putting the difficulty up. Like, it's clear that for whatever reason EA makes the game harder by making your sliders absolutely brutal, and it obviously boosts the computer's sliders. So I'm talking about stuff like stick checking, skating speed, goalie efficiency, and like shooting. So like, it's idiotic. Like, I'll be like someone like Connor McDavid going on a rush, and the defenseman will be skating backwards, and somehow he'll be faster than me. There's no way. That's not happening. I'm sorry, a player skating backwards is not faster than a player skating forward. Or like the same thing is like, you go for a poke check as a human, and it barely knocks the puck off the computer's stick, and then more than probably around 90% of the time they'll just get the puck back. But I've found that the computer just has to be in the vicinity of you, and They just have to be in the vicinity of you, and they'll somehow the puck will just like magically like go on their stick and take it away from you. It's the most idiotic thing ever to play, and one of the reasons why I rarely play player in this game, because it's just too stressful for me. And then it's like really evident on the goalie, like it will be on pro difficulty. Like I'm going to go use NHL 3s as an example again. Like I'll be playing an ECHL team on, I normally just play pro difficulty because like, I'm not a very good NHL player to start off with anyways, but like I'll be playing one of the ECHL teams and I'll put like maybe like 30 shots on the guy that's like maybe like 58, 60 overall, and he'll make like, I'll get like one goal on like 30 shots or something, yet my goalie will add in like 3 on 9 shots, and it's not like I'm not getting quality shots either, and it's like one of those things where I'm getting quality shots but I can't score to save my life on such a low overall goalie, and my goalie's maybe like 75 now, and he's laying the weakest crap in the net ever on. So it's like, oh, here I have like one goal on 30 shots on like a 58 or something, and they have 3 goals on like 9 shots. It's kind of evident that that's what's happening, and I feel like if they want to make the game harder, why don't they make it so that the player IQ's smarter instead of like doing it slider wise, because that shouldn't be how you make the game harder. It's kind of unfair. And again, some of you might even just say, well, that's why there's sliders, change them if you're gonna be that annoyed with them. But the thing is, you can't change the sliders in every game mode, and quite frankly, you shouldn't have to. Now, something, I'm gonna use MLB The Show as an example here again. Something they added in the most previous game, the newest to date, is they added the manager's review, which is honestly something very cool. So on that lines, I'm sure you guys know what I'm about to say. So something they could add into this game is coach's challenge. So like there's times where I swear like the other team will go offside and they'll end up scoring, and I'm like, wasn't that offside? But so I feel like then it'd be like, oh hey, there's a coach's challenge, I could challenge this, and I feel like that'd be a cool concept. It's part of the game in real life, so why not add it to the game? Now, last thing I want to talk about in this video is, again, MLB The Show. Something they have in that game is the ability to import your own music via a USB drive. So you could have like your own custom ballpark music or custom walk-up music. I feel like that's something EA should be looking into as well, because quite frankly, if they're not gonna, they always see people complaining about the goal horns. So say they screw up and they're terrible again, then it gives the fans the ability to import their own and change them, or just in general have the like be able to import a lot of music, so you can have like in-game music. So like, because it's kind of annoying how just like in-game music just more or less beats or like the same like four songs. So just like being able to import music just makes the game so much more fun. That's why one of the reasons why I love MLB The Show so much, because you have your own custom music in there. So anyways, that's kind of, I believe that's all I wanted to see in this video. If you guys liked anything I said, be sure to be sure to 1+1 that in the comments, and be sure to write down your own ideas too, because hey, if there's a very slim chance that EA might see and watch my video, but if there is, then if you write down a comment, they'll see your idea as well. So if you have those ideas, be sure to leave them down below. And again, if you agree or disagree with some of my points I said, be sure to let me know as well. So if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to hit like and subscribe. And until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video.